Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling, Unlimited, as it is April 21st, 2024, and tonight was AEW Dynasty. Now, I'm going to say it right now, as a show, this was awesome. This was such a fun show to watch. I do want to apologize for starting late if you're watching live, because I had to go back and rewatch the Bryan Danielson-Will Osprey match. The match that I was most looking forward to. My internet goes down, literally, as Danielson's coming down to the ring. Then my internet comes back on as doctors and Will and the ref are all over Danielson, looking over him. And I'm like, what did I miss? And then they finally showed the replay of the referee calling for the doctor, Will hitting the hidden blade and going 1, 2, 3, and I go, oh, it's a storyline. And it has been confirmed. Storyline, Danielson is not hurt, so no one needs to worry about that. Bryan Danielson is not injured. He did not get hurt in this match. And it was, I don't know why people would even think he was hurt anyways. Now, I sent out the tweet asking if he was before I saw the replay of what happened. But it is very obvious he is not hurt, because the referee would not be calling for the ref or the doctor and then count the 3, 1, 2, 3. Nah, that ain't going to happen. So he's all good. It's all good. No need to worry there. But I went back, watched that match. One of the greatest matches of all time, maybe. At least that I've seen. A lot of other people on social media and whatnot are saying the same thing. So a lot of people loving that match. And we'll get into all that and so forth. We got a little bit of other AEW news to talk about as well. So as we start rolling into things, let's just get the housekeeping out of the way. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits, in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a bunch of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get, try not to burp and hiccup, one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live, post new videos, and post to the community tab. Hit that join button to become a channel member, even if all you can donate every month is $1. $1 is extremely, extremely grateful. We love all the support you guys have been giving us. This is, in the last year, the best growth month we've had, if not the second best growth month, as far as number of views going up and the number of subscribers we've had this month being more than a normal month as well. So again, really appreciate all the support you guys can do, whether that is subscribing and donating as a channel member or over on Patreon, whether that is just liking the videos, sharing the videos, telling people about the channel and so forth. It's all greatly appreciated. And also, remember to head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Whether you're claiming the free games, which right now are The Big Con, Grift of the Year Edition, or Town of Salem 2. Maybe you're trying to get into that new season of Disney Speedstorm. Disney Speedstorm is a free-to-play game that you can get from the Epic Game Store. And just this week, Season 7 launched, and it's Sugar Rush, Wreck-It Ralph, I'm gonna wreck it. And it's super fun. There are 5 new characters, 6 variations of the Sugar Rush track. And they have also implemented what is now called the Vault Pass, which if you have not unlocked everything from previous seasons, whether that is Toy Story, Lilo and Stitch, or the current open Monsters, Inc. season, you can now go back, run some tournaments, and unlock things for previous seasons you may not have gotten already. But with that, head over to the Epic Game Store, use code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Now, before we get into AEW Dynamite, we do have a little bit of news I want to talk about, and it's all AEW related anyways. So let me pull all of that up really fast. Let me see. So I know, so I'll just wing this one because I don't know exactly who first reported it. Let me double check something really fast. Let me give me like 2 seconds or like 30 to just double check this. So before the show went live tonight, AEW Dynamite, or not Dynamite, Dynasty. I've done that like 3 times today now. Said Dynamite instead Dynasty. News did come out that Julia Hart is injured. Now I didn't see where that news first came from, so I can't accurately attribute the news. I'm not able to see it here. Let me give me one more second. Yeah, I don't see. Oh, wait, I might have it here. No. So I don't know where the news actually came from, but before the show went on the air tonight, word did come out that Julia Hart had suffered an injury last week. That actually led to betonline.ag and I think one other website actually pulling down the betting odds for the TBS championship match, because basically when you find out somebody's injured and they're still going to work their match, they're not winning, and so everyone's going to bet on the other person. It's a whole thing. So that is one thing that came out today. Julia Hart is injured. Julia Hart, we do not know what the injury actually is and how long it's going to keep her out of action. Now, the other news that did come out today kind of could play into a couple of different things, as it is being reported by Fightful that Jeff Hardy's contract is actually up sooner than expected. Fightful writes the following. When Jeff Hardy signed with All Elite Wrestling years ago, we reported that it was done in a way that Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy's deals matched up. However, this is no longer the case, but they're not far off. Matt Hardy appeared in TNA on April 20th after allowing his contract to expire, but reiterated that he's a free agent. His deal actually expired in March, but was extended a couple of weeks past WrestleMania weekend. Originally, it was believed that AEW had extended Jeff's deal into 2025 due to injury and sabbatical time. As of late March, that wasn't actually the case. At that period, Jeff's deal was set to expire sometime in the spring. Based on what Jeff Hardy told other talent at recent conventions, AEW could likely extend the deal though, but Jeff's deal could be up soon. So, word also is that Matt Hardy appearing last night at the Rebellion show for TNA and working for TNA is not Matt signing with TNA. It is Matt on a per appearance basis, I believe, is what came out earlier today as well. And so that led to a lot of speculation going, oh, well, if Matt's not willing to sign with anybody, is he waiting for Jeff for something? Now, this is purely speculation. Could, and this is a big could. Could Matt Hardy go work a short stint in TNA while he waits for Jeff's contract to expire in All Elite Wrestling? Again, this is pure speculation before the Hardy Boys go back to WWE. Matt was doing the teases of maybe joining this Uncle Howdy group or whatever the Uncle Howdy thing is going to be. There's a chance that we see Uncle Howdy debut with maybe Braun Strowman, Eric Redbeard, Broken or Woken Matt Hardy, and Brother Nero or Willow. We've seen Brother Nero and Willow appear in WWE in the past when they did the Ultimate Deletion stuff. So, or just the Hardys in general showing back up in WWE under Triple H. Again, that's all full speculation, but according to this new report from Fightful today, they do state that Jeff Hardy's deal is actually up soon, sometime this spring. And then it was reported also today that Matt has not signed with AEW or with TNA, but is on a per appearance basis, which then again led to people thinking maybe Matt's just waiting for Jeff. So we'll see where it all leads to. We'll keep our ears open to the news. We'll see how it all goes down. But what we got to talk about now is AEW Dynasty. I will say I did not see any of the pre-show because I was watching an awesome Talladega race. Said, oh my, let's talk about this for a second. Goddamn Michael McDowell. So there's one lap to go. And I know most you probably don't care about this, but I need to vent for a second. I'm not a Ford fan, as you probably know. I'll root for Toyotas, especially I'll root for Chevys. Kyle Busch in the 8 RCR Chevrolet, Annie Hendrick Motorsports car. But the only Ford that I will cheer for willingly, maybe the 2. So either of the RFK, Roush Fenway Keselowski cars. But I've always been a big Brad Keselowski fan. Then he went to Penske to drive a Ford. Now he's part owner of Roush driving a Ford. And I'm like, well, I'm still going to be a Keselowski fan. Just like when Harvick went to SHR, they were a Chevy team. Then they moved to Ford. I stayed a Harvick fan. But regardless, Keselowski hasn't won a race in years. And Keselowski had a shot to win today's race. Coming off of we're going into turn 3. Brad lays back on the 10 of Noah Gragson. He lets Michael McDowell get a run because he's about to get a run. He knows that the 10 has been giving him good pushes for the last couple of laps, so he drags that brake, goes back to the 10, they come off of 4, and he gets that run. He gets a run, but he knows McDowell's going to stay low, so he goes high. McDowell goes high to block. Brad immediately shoots down. McDowell immediately shoots down right in front of Keselowski. Keselowski hits him because when Keselowski comes down, he's right in front of the 10 that gives him a shove into the 32. 32 spins out, goes into the wall. This jumbles everybody up. All of a sudden, here comes 45 and Tyler Reddick. He gets a run and right past the 6 of Brad Keselowski. Michael Jordan's happy because his team just won the race. He's over here celebrating with Tyler Reddick's son. Yes, 5-year-old little kid. I think he's 5. Maybe he's even younger than that. Over here, hanging out, having fun with Michael Jordan, literally in victory lane. They're doing the whole thing where the driver gets out. He's like, yeah, standing on the car. And they cut to Michael Jordan holding Tyler Reddick's son. I think his name's Bo. And he's like, you want to go see your dad? You want to go congratulate your dad? And I'm like, man, this kid's got the life. He's over here hanging out with Michael Jordan. Regardless, I'm a big Tyler Reddick fan as well, so I couldn't be too upset. Brad does finish second yet again. But Tyler Reddick in 45 gets the big win. Denny Hamlin's not as mad as he was going to be because he got wrecked out today, but then his team ended up winning. Regardless, great Talladega race. Very unconventional Talladega race because it was pretty clean for the first 3/4 of this race, and then they started racing. But AEW Dynamite, that's why I didn't see the pre-show, because I was watching the NASCAR race. But I was told not much happened on the pre-show anyways. We do have results on the pre-show. Actually, I take that back. The Trios match was on the pre-show, and I did see that because the NASCAR race ended right before the Trios match. So I lied. I did see part of the pre-show. I also did see the clip where Renee Paquette was running down the card with RJ City and said, Chris Jericho is challenging for the FTW championship, which is like our version of the UFC's BMF title. And I said, yeah, right. It ain't no BMF title, Renee Paquette. Anywho, I did see one match on the pre-show, but also Trent Beretta defeated Matt Sydal and then beat his ass afterwards, to where Mike Sydal had to come in. And then Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata defeated Shane Taylor Promotions. I do apologize, I'm all stuffed up still. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, so as far as this Trios match does go, they've unified AEW Trios and Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships, which, thank you. Max Caster comes out, horrible rap, says something about Jay White's going to complain to Legal because he's going to show him his dick or something. I don't know. I think the crowd's over goddamn Max Caster and his raps. Even Max Caster was over his own rap because he was like saying his lines and then he was like fumbling a little bit and like trying to remember what he should say next and this and that. And then he's like, and then you're going to have to go to legal because you're going to see my. I'm like, okay, we're done with this. Fuck this shit. What's up, Luke? Hey, Luke said he just got home. Luke was at the show. Luke, if you want to jump on the pay-per-view live stream with me right now, Discord is up. Just give me a call. I didn't know you'd be home that quickly, or I would have waited, or just set it up already. But if you want to jump on, totally your call, Luke. We can get your thoughts tomorrow before we talk Raw on the Raw review. But if you want to jump on, just shoot that call on Discord, and we'll flip it all over. Anywho, totally your call, Luke. Regardless, I did see this match. So, where was I? Colton and Bones began things with some fast exchanges here. Bones kept Colton grounded before a blind tag by Austin led to Daddy Ass, also making the tag. Billy then faked helping his son up and locked on a headlock before having a nice back and forth with his son. Billy dropped his two boys with clotheslines before White tagged in. Also did Billy. Then they did the stuff where like Billy was no selling White like they did on that Dynamite match, and it was just White eventually bailed and made the blind tag to Colton, who attacked his dad from behind, and he's no sold that too. I'm cool with him no selling Colton because it makes sense, but him no selling Jay White, former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, former Tokyo Dome main eventer, what? Anywho. Colton tried to hug his dad. He didn't want it. Billy just punched him in the face and tagged in Caster. As the match broke down, the Acclaimed hit the Scissor Me Timbers on Austin. Caster awkwardly missed a corner splash, allowing White to launch him into the barricade. Caster remained isolated as White and the Guns trash talked the crowd in the process. Bowens made the hot tag and wiped everybody out before a drop kick from Colton sent him to the floor. Billy then made the hot tag, and there was a series of haymakers to everyone that connected before he hit a one and only on Austin as Colton flew in with the Famouser and got a 2. Billy then avoided a 310 to Yuma as the match broke down, resulting in White clocking Billy in the back with the golden bat. And I'm like, oh, God. There's too many bats in this company. It's like three people now. Well, 2. There's too many bats. I'll just say that. We don't need all these bats. We need one person using a bat. Sting's gone. Jericho used a bat. Just let Jericho use a bat. Why does Jay White need a bat? Anyways. The Acclaimed made the save here as the crowd were booing when Billy took a 310 to Yuma. They dispatched the Guns, leaving White alone to a series of super kicks. Guns then distracted the Acclaimed, and then they were sent to the outside as White wanted a Blade Runner. As White wanted to go for the Blade Runner, Gunn no-sold it and hit a Faymaster. As Caster hit the mic drop, Billy made the cover, but White kicked out. White and Billy then traded finisher attempts until White hit the Blade Runner and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Huge pop. There we go. New AEW World Trios champions. Bang, bang, gang. The Bullet Club Gold, whatever you want to call them. They now got both sets of belts. Hopefully they just throw those ROH ones away. They give them new 6-man Trios titles, whatever we're going to call them. Trios titles, I guess, because Tony Khan likes luchadors. And so he calls them Trios titles because I don't know. Regardless, I thought this was a fun match. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And then we move on to the main show that kicked off with, in my opinion, the second best match of the night. Kazuchika Okada defending the Continental Championship against Pac. Also, guys, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat on YouTube or donating Twitch bits on Twitch. So again, I'm going to take a little, I guess you could say, insight from Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has said before that if you're not going to be the main event, the next best spot on the card is the opener. Because you're the one in charge of riling up that crowd. Whether there's a pre-show match or not, the crowd is there ready to go. They're sitting down because when you think about it, most people, they don't pay attention fully during the pre-show. They're getting their seats together. They're figuring out, am I comfy? Do this and that. Oh, do I need to go get a drink? Do I got to pee beforehand? Am I whatever? So Jericho has said this before. You're not going to main event a show. The second best slot to be in is the opener. And Jericho said this after getting mad about him and Kevin Owens for the United States Championship being match number 2 at WrestleMania 33. He was like, we were told we were going to main event that show with the Universal title on the line. Then they go and they put that damn title on Goldberg and have him fight Brock. And that was a whole thing. He's like, so they should have gave us the opener. I forget what opened WrestleMania 33. I could look it up really fast. WrestleMania 33. If Wikipedia's got it in correct order, the opening match was AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. Okay, gotcha. I remember that. Yes. Because now I'm remembering it. That match happened in the daytime, and I remember Jericho coming out for his entrance as the sun was setting. Gotcha. Okay. Anyways. So you always want to start strong. Look at night 2 of WrestleMania. Look at night 1 of WrestleMania. They both opened with strong world title matches. And this match, or this show, starts with a strong title match. Now, do we need the Continental Championship? No, we don't. AEW's got more than enough titles. It's no different than the International Championship. I almost said, my nose. I almost forgot the name of that title because they've changed it. The Atlantic Championship was the old name. But regardless, it's basically the same thing as the International Championship. Now, I know what you're going to say, but WWE has the Intercontinental in the U.S. Yeah, but they're on 2 different shows. This is all one show, one brand. So do we really need the Continental and the International? No. Jim Ross was on this on commentary to open up the show, and I thought Jim Ross was actually really good tonight on commentary. He felt and he seemed like the old Jim Ross. Good. Like he was all there. I didn't hear him fumble anything. He sounded great. So the bell rings and immediately the crowd's chanting, holy shit. Match begins with a series of counters leading to Pac trying to ground the larger Okada. Pac, with a snap Hurricane Rana, sent Okada to the floor, where Pac followed with a twisting dive, landing on his feet. Okada was driven into the barricade, and then they go back inside as Pac wasted no time going for an avalanche brainbuster and got a 2 off of it. Pac started toying with Okada before going to the ropes, wasting too much time, and Okada hit a drop kick to the outside. Pac smacked his leg on the edge of the apron on the fall. Back inside the ring, Okada hit a snap low drop kick, resulting in a loud ovation from the crowd as he returned the favor and toyed with Pac some more, who slowly got up and threw some forearms. Pac tried to float over, but ran right into a perfect dropkick from Okada. Okada then draped Pac over the barricade and completely spiked Pac with the DDT on the floor. Okada smiled. Okada smiled and thought, all right, this guy's done. He's out. He gets in the ring. He tells the referee to count. Ref gets to 9, and then, Pac gets back in the ring, only to be spiked with another DDT, and Okada only gets 2 off of it. Pac would eventually come back with a low bridge. He followed this up with a spectacular moonsault to the outside. There was a slugfest that ensued back in the ring before Pac connected with a flying forearm before going up top and hitting a missile dropkick. There was a series of kicks from Pac, but Okada avoided the final one. He tried to go for a German suplex, but Pac landed on his feet, hit a bounce-back German suplex, which Okada exploded up from into a shotgun dropkick, and there was a double down here at this point. Pac then changed things up here, but suffered a air raid crash onto the knee of Okada for a 2. Okada connected on the top with an elbow, which led to a fake out of the Rainmaker pose. He then flipped the crowd off. They did not like this, but I thought it was great because he was like ready to go for the pose, He went. I'm like, heel Okada is actually very good. When we first got word that this could be the thing, I was like, I don't know. But now that they're doing it, heel Okada is so good. I like him with the Young Bucks. Now we'll talk about him more later. They've got Jack Perry as well, which we knew was coming, which was very inevitable. But yeah, this little new elite led by the EVPs in their shitty ass Cybertruck. Don't get me started on those. But back to the match. Pac nearly got the flash roll up here though, as Okada basically distracted himself as he threw a super kick and a lariat before a deadlift German for a close 2. Pac wanted the Black Arrow, but crashed and burned as Okada dropped him with a tombstone. Pac then turned a Rainmaker into a cradle for a 2. And then there was a victory roll before sinking in a crucifix brutalizer. Okada gouged the eyes, tried another tombstone, and Pac reversed into one of his own. Pac then went to the top, but Okada grabbed the leg of the referee. And so Pac was just like, well, if I drop down, I'm going to hit the ref. What do I do? So he climbs down. And like Okada's laying there and he's got the ref and the ref's like, let me go. Hey, let me go. Let me go. Pac climbs down, gets back in the ring. And oh no, I'm thinking of this wrong. Okay. Yeah. Pac climbs down. The referee finally gets free. He gets back to the top rope, goes for the Black Arrow, but Okada gets his knees up. Okada then connects with the Rainmaker and picks up the victory. So Okada makes his way to the back. Pac gets to his feet, and the crowd gives him a standing ovation. Crowd loved this match. I love this match. I thought this was so much fun. This was great. I really enjoyed this match. Again, like I said, I thought it was a really good opener. And as far as the times do go, give me 1 second and I will get you the times. Where is the Wikipedia? Doing it again? Let me see if it does it this way. Where's the Wikipedia? Okay, hold on. For some reason the Wikipedia just doesn't want to come up. AEW 2024. This is interesting. Oh, here we go. As far as this match does go, it went 21 minutes and 55 seconds, so almost 22 minutes. So next up, we had a trios match. I didn't really care for this match at all. I'm watching this match going, huh? Why is this even happening? Oh, to set up Malachi and Copeland? Well, I thought they already did that. This match did not need to happen at all. We did not need this 17.5-minute match whatsoever. Because, first of all, why is Eddie Kingston oh so cool about just teaming with the guy that beat him for the ROH World Championship? Huh? Yeah, makes no sense. Makes no sense. They said it last night. I think it was Nigel said it last night on Collision. Eddie Kingston came into the year with 3 championships. Then he lost the Continental Championship to Okada. Then he lost the ROH World Championship to Mark Briscoe, the guy standing right there in the ring, and he's only got one left. New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, which he will be defending at Resurgence in basically a blood sport match. It was announced that him and Gabe Kidd will be fighting at Resurgence in a no DQ, no ropes match, I think is what they said. Well, that should be interesting. Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd in basically a blood sport match. WWE doing one of them soon with Natalya and Lola Vice, NXT Underground. Anywho, I don't know why we needed this match. This match did nothing for me. I couldn't care less about it. And basically, it was 3 champions not defending their titles against the House of Black. The setup, I guess you would say, Malachi versus Copeland, win. Double or nothing? I don't know. Anyways. Now, me saying that this match didn't need to happen doesn't mean I hated the match or anything. I just didn't care for it. I thought it was a Honestly, this should have been the match that they did last night on Collision. They did the Trios 6-man tag last night on Collision, where these three guys, the baby faces, the champions, all took on Top Flight and Action Andretti. They should have just done this match on Collision. It would have been a great Collision main event. But nope, no. I don't know. Anywho. Fast tags by all early on. Black and Briscoe, Copeland and Matthews were paired off at one point. Black then tagged himself in and stared down Copeland. You can hear Kingston yelling at his partner, "Beat the shit out of him! Beat his ass!" I laughed very hard there. Black started playing some mind games and then tagged in Brody King as Kingston followed, and we got some big-time chops and forearms. King absorbed some kicks and some chops and some other shots, but not the enziguri. The staggered King, and he kind of fell back into the corner where he suffered some Kobayashi machine gun chops. And oh my God, I don't know if this is an old video or not, but I saw like the funniest video of these two indie guys making fun of this spot. Because they're like Rio wrestling chops, and it's boom. Like the guy takes, wow, big chop to the chest, right? And then they go, indie wrestling chops. And it's a guy going, like he's like this, right? So he's hitting the other guy. He's like barely tapping him. And he starts going faster and faster and faster. And then the guy steps out of the corner and just goes, okay, and it's funny as shit because it's true. You do these machine gun chops, and it's like the faster you go, the harder it's supposed to look, but actually the less effective it looks and the more ridiculous it looks. So yeah, these machine gun chops always just, to me, look so ridiculous. So, anyways, King reversed a whip and connected with a black hole slam and then a corner cannonball. Kingston remained isolated before a released German suplex, dropped Black to give Briscoe the hot tag and pick up the pace against Matthews. There was some redneck kung fu that connected as Briscoe sent Matthews to the floor with the baseball slide as the match broke down with Black going at it and Kingston at ringside. Matthews then grabbed a chair, but Briscoe got a hold of it and used it as a launching pad to hit a somersault dive, clearing the post onto Kingston. Briscoe and Matthews then fought on the apron where Matthews hit a pump knee, dropping Briscoe into the clutches of King, who hit a rolling Death Valley driver, bending the barricade in the process. At one point, Black bailed before Copeland can get his hands on him as King ate a series of clotheslines. Kingston and Briscoe then hit the ring to take out Black and Matthews, with Kingston throwing a chop so hard that on King that he kind of fell himself because he was just like, boom, and then kind of like stumbles for, yeah, that's a real chop, not the hink, 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 hink. Yeah, no. So Black and Matthews took out Kingston and Briscoe with double corner power bombs, leaving Copeland to hit a superplex on King, leaving all 6 men down at this point. We get the wide shot of everybody just laying. It's not a double down, it's a 6 down. What's the pluralization of 6? You have double, triple, quadruple, quint. I think it's quints. What's 6? Let me know in the chat. What's 6? Like I said, there's single, double, solo, or single, double, triple, quadruple. What's 6? Sextuplet? No. I don't know. Anyways. Start to get to their feet, and Copeland tried an impaler, but Matthews flew in with a Meteora, which was very weird because I saw a clip on Twitter during the Matt Sydal match, and the clip said, commentary really needs to learn some shit about the other wrestlers. Sextuple, thank you. And it's basically, I can't remember who the announcer is, but they say, you know, Matt Sydal, his offense is very unique because he's the only one here in AEW that hits that Meteora. And I go, really? Buddy Matthews does. Wait till Mercedes starts wrestling. She hits it all the times too. So it's like, yeah, okay. Anyways, Matthews flew in with the Meteora. Swerve even kind of, a swerve stomp is a variation of a Meteora, kind of. Anyways, everyone then started to hit some home run shots, leaving Kingston to hit a spinning back fist on King, while Copeland hit an Impaler and Briscoe with the Froggy Bow, but Matthews broke the count. Just as Copeland and Black were about to go at it for the first time, the match broke down yet again. As a triple spear by Copeland, Kingston, and Briscoe dropped all the House of Black. Copeland then charged at Black, who missed him and hit the end kick to pick up the victory. So, Black pins Copeland. 7 is a septuple. Gotcha. So, sextuple, septuple. Okay, gotcha. So, as far as, like I said, that match did go 17 minutes, 45 seconds, like 17 and a half-ish. So, then we had Willow Nightingale challenging Julia Hart for the TBS Championship. The match went exactly 6 minutes. It was a house rules match. And basically, Willow's stipulation was Sky Blue was banned from ringside. Well, actually, this was kind of weird. She said everyone was banned from ringside. But what she should have said, because that meant Sky Blue, that meant Stokely, and that meant, I think it was Stokely. But that meant Sky Blue and Chris Statlander for sure. But she should have just said only Sky Blue. If she gets to make that one rule, my one rule is Sky Blue can't be at ringside. That way, Statlander could still be there, but I don't know. Anywho, match did go 6 minutes exactly, according to Wikipedia. And like I stated, we did know that Julia Hart was injured going into this match. So that's why the match, felt not all that great. Off at times, I guess you can say. That's right. Stokely was on commentary. I have it written right here. Stokely was on commentary, trading jabs with Taz. Nightingale exploded out of the gates really quickly and went, but she went right into the corner, was super kicked from Hart, and she tumbled to the floor. We then see Tony Schiavone hilariously protecting Hathaway as Hart threw Nightingale over into the timekeeper's area. Mercedes Moné was shown in the back watching as Hart continued to stay in control. Nightingale fought back, applying a sleeper in the ring, but Hart kicked her way free. Hart then charged into a spine buster, but Nightingale missed the follow-up drop kick. Hart then applied a Heartless, but Nightingale powered out and started firing up. Hart connected on a double stomp in the corner, wanting her top rope moonsault, but ate a boot in the face instead as Nightingale connected with a wild lariat. Nightingale then hit the Dr. Bomb and pinned Hart clean 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. And Stokely on commentary yells, "Jack and Cheese, here we come!" Love it. I love it. Stokely is so good. So, congratulations, Willow Nightingale, new TBS champion, as everybody expected. And then this bitch, Mercedes, comes down to the ring. Gets a full entrance. She walks out. She's and then walks down. She gets in the ring with Willow. Willow barely gets to even celebrate. And yeah, they tell us at Double or Nothing, it will be Mercedes Moné challenging Willow Nightingale for the AEW TBS Championship. And then I think it was Taz that goes, if Willow is still the champion, we know Willow would most likely be a fighting champion and may even defend the title before Double or Nothing, and she could lose it. Highly doubt it. Highly, highly doubt it. This match is going down. They show the graphic. I don't think they changed the title before. To who? The story is there. Mercedes versus Willow. So I don't know. I don't know what they do or why they would change anything. Would they put that doubt in our mind that this is the advertised match, but it could change? Mercedes then leaves. Willow goes and celebrates with her family at ringside, and then we immediately cut it. So then we get, for the International Championship, two old friends. It's Roderick Strong defending against Kyle O'Reilly. These two matched up very, very well. These two had a really, really good match. And I was confused for a second here during this match when Wardlow came out. So during this match, and this match itself did go 17 and a half minutes. A lot of 15 to 18-minute matches. Anyways, so during this, and I'm going to pull this up on the screen, actually. So during this match, pull this up here. Wardlow. Oh. Hold on. No, well, no, I'll check this later. Apparently, Will Osprey was asked about his Triple H comments in the press conference tonight. Anyways, so during this match, Wardlow sends out this tweet. Excuse me. The devil is doing everything to stop me lately. Stop me lately. Still hasn't learned he can't. Banged up, but I'm alive. Thank you to those that have reached out. Appreciate you all. Now, I don't know if this means that the car wreck that he's showing off here, there's another photo also that he posted on his Instagram, but I don't know if this car wreck happened during the show, before the show, when did this car wreck happen? I don't know. So I'm like, oh, well, is he going to come out for this match? And then the fucker comes out for the match. Very interesting. Other confusion after the match as well. So, Caliber documents the history of these two, going all the way back to Ring of Honor and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, like 2009, I think they said. O'Reilly, early on, where was it? Yeah, O'Reilly threw some kicks early on to the leg of Strong, who pulled him in for a pin attempt long enough to pop up and hit a perfect leg lariat to gain control. Both men went at each other's shoulders as a plethora of kicks from O'Reilly led to Strong catching and countering into the backbreaker. Strong then set up O'Reilly in the corner and delivered a backbreaker on the turnbuckle, but opted to dish out some punches instead of go for the pin. There's loud chops from Strong, seemingly waking up Kyle O'Reilly, but Strong switched to boots to keep O'Reilly down. Strong then continued delivering backbreakers, including a torture rack into a double knees, only managing to get a 2 off of it, though. O'Reilly fought out of an end of heartache into a guillotine as O'Reilly let go and lit up Strong with some strikes before sinking in a knee bar. Strong then managed a desperation angle slam, and then there was a series of charging forearms nearly that led to a step-up knee, but O'Reilly dodged it and hung up Strong and hit a top rope guillotine knee. O'Reilly then went to the top but hit a diving knee to the knee of Strong, sinking in another knee bar. Strong then kicked free as both threw heavy forearms, with Strong turning to another backbreaker. Strong at this point connected on a superplex, but each man held on and traded near falls. Basically, it was like the superplex, and then they both grab each other, and they kind of like their legs go up. It's like 1, 2. Then Roddy kind of pulls them over. 1, 2. O'Reilly kicks out. There's a chop battle, some kicks as well, and O'Reilly hits a snap German suplex. He tried to go for the home run shot, but Strong fired a desperation pump knee into a double down. Both got up, and O'Reilly got the guillotine choke, but Strong hung O'Reilly up by the neck in the ropes. O'Reilly then fought back on the apron as Strong took the ref, and Wardlow would make his way down to the ring. He tried to get involved, but was caught by the referee, and then he backs off, just like, okay, yep, okay. So at this point, he backs off, but was caught by the ref. He backs off, and O'Reilly got a crucifix on Strong, but Strong did kick out, and then hit a fireman's double knee. But O'Reilly answered with a Nigel bounce back lariat. O'Reilly then sank in a cross arm breaker, but Strong got to the ropes to break it. Strong then got up, hit the flying boot, followed this up with an end to heartache, and picked up the victory. So, Roderick Strong is still international champion, no thanks to Wardlow. And then afterwards, the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, bring out Adam Cole on the stage. Adam Cole then looks around and stands up and walks straight down to the ring. Adam Cole can walk again, ladies and gentlemen. No wheelchair needed. Kingdom hold up Roderick Strong on their shoulders as Cole gets into the ring, glares at Wardlow, and then walks over to Roddy. Like, he gives Wardlow the death stare. The seeds are planted. Wardlow's about to get Randy Orton. They're going to kick his ass out, just like Triple H and Evolution kicked out Randy in 2004. Then we got the match nobody wanted to see. FTW title on the line. FTW rules. Hook defending against Chris Jericho. Boy, I don't know whose idea this was. Was it Tony's? Was it Chris's? But this is not what the fans wanted. There were, you should retire. There were go home Jericho chants. Fans did not want to see this match. Hey, Luke, if you're still watching, let me know how much the crowd was shitting on Jericho here. I think Luke even sent out a tweet. I'm going to go find it really fast. The crowd didn't care so much that they were like getting up during this match. Let me see. Let me see if I can find Luke's tweet really fast. Whoops. That's not how you find a tweet. Where was it? Yeah, Luke tweeted out, quote, "A lot of fans are getting up because they are not interested in Chris Jericho versus Hook." I read that tweet and went, oof, oof. As far as the match does go, Jericho offered a fist bump to start things off, and Hook accepted it. As the match began, they were trading chops, punches, and then Hook did a series of overhead suplexes before sending Jericho to the floor. Hook leapt for a shot off the apron, but missed by a mile, and Jericho still sold it. Basically, the old Jeff Hardy, Jinder Mahal spot, kind of. Where was I? Jericho then slammed Hook into the announce table right in front of Taz, setting a table up at ringside. He tried a powerbomb, but Hook escaped and hit a German suplex as Jericho came within inches of catching the corner of the steps. Hook then got a trash can lid and just grabbed it and went boom! Hit Jericho right in the head with it, unprotected and everything. And I'm like, fuck! There are so many, like, especially recently, shots to the head, but not protected shots to the head. Now, I'm not going to say fully unprotected, but it's like there was a shot where Okada just hurled a chair at Pac's head the other day. I think it was last week on Dynamite, maybe. And Pac, like, maybe got half of his hand up to block it. Anywho, Hook just throttles this trash can lid right into the head of Jericho, and Jericho doesn't even try to block it. Jericho. Where was I? Hook then grabs Jericho and catches him with the boot and a DDT on the trash can lid for a 2. Both men then fought to the apron, and Hook delivered a T-bone off of it through the setup table. He shattered the table, giving Hook a 2 count. Back in the ring, Hook hit another German suplex to the chants of "Go Home Jericho" from the crowd. Jericho fought back with a corner clothesline and a top rope Hurricane Rana, which Jericho himself nearly fell on his own head doing. Jericho then threw in more weapons, wanted a trash can shot, but Hook hit another German suplex. Hook then put the trash can over Jericho and smashed it with a kendo stick before delivering a T-bone suplex on a trapped Jericho for a 2. Hook then brought another table to the ring, set it up in the corner, and delivered another throw, only to walk into a code breaker for a double down spot here. Both men started to slug it out. Jericho got the better of it, and the crowd starts chanting, "Please retire. Please retire." There were slight, like, it sounded like at least, cheers whenever Hook would get the advantage, but they really weren't caring. Jericho raked the eyes of Hook, but then missed a corner fist drop. Hook applied the red rum, but Jericho fell back onto the corner table. Jericho then made the cover, put his feet up on the ropes, causing the ref to briefly stop the count. And I go, "Hey, ref, you're a fucking idiot!" FTW rules. There are no rules! God damn! When AEW referees aren't supposed to enforce when AEW referees are supposed to enforce the rules, they don't. Then when they don't have to, they try to. These freaking referees are so ass backwards. So ass backwards. And then eventually the ref realizes, wait, FTW 1, 2, and Hook kicked out. Like, what are we freaking doing here? Jericho then counters a leg lock into a walls of Jericho, but Hook escapes. Small package for a 2. There's red rum applied. This time Jericho hit a mule kick and a Judas effect, but Hook kicked out. Jericho hit another Judas effect, but once more, Hook kicked out. Jericho then told Hook to stay down before grabbing the baseball bat. He said, I don't want to do this. Hook stumbles to his feet, flips off Jericho. Jericho hit Hook in the face with the bat. Taz then rises to his feet from commentary. Crowd starts to stir. And then Jericho pins Hook 1, 2, 3. Taz eventually walks around the ring over to where Hook is. They give Jericho his belt, and the doctors are checking on Hook. Taz then told Jericho, leave. And I'm like, no, Daddy don't get to come save you, Hook. The whole thing is that Hook was always doing this on his own. Yes, he's Taz's boy, but unlike Dominic Mysterio, he never was with his dad. He was never partnered up with Taz. Kind of Team Taz. But you get my drift. So now for Taz to come check on his son, this really, Hook was, on the rise. Hook had that great match with Joe for the title, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, no, he shouldn't have won." Like whole thing. It made Hook a bigger star, and this and that, and da da da. But then Daddy Taz having to come check on little boy Hook really kind of, in my opinion, hurt Hook a little bit. It made me think, oh well, Hook's just Taz's kid. Moving forward for the AEW Women's World Championship on the line as Toni Storm defended against Thunder Rosa. I'm going to say right now, I think this was the best Toni Storm match in AEW, and I think this was the best Thunder Rosa match in AEW. J-Dog says, he lost to Jericho because Hook is going to WWE. We don't know that. You don't know that. Nobody knows that. And if you say, it was reported, no, it wasn't. If you try to come back and say, that's what was reported, no, it wasn't. There's a report recently that said Hook is interested later this year in potentially, but what's what I'm looking for? Potentially looking at free agency. And so basically, Hook's contract is up later this year, and he may let his contract expire to see if he gets any other offers. The same report then stated that they spoke to somebody within WWE, and that person said, if they know the way WWE likes to recruit, Hook would be somebody that they would most likely be interested in if he becomes available. The report did not say Hook is leaving AEW for WWE. So to say he lost because he's going to WWE, no. Like, it's possible, but nobody knows if that's going to happen. That's not a thing right now. First off, the report says that his contract's up later this year. Jay also says Taz wanted his son to develop in WWE. When did Taz ever say that? When did Taz ever say that? I don't remember Taz ever saying that. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever heard Taz say that. I mean, I think Hook would actually be really, 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 really perfect for NXT. I couldn't see Hook on the main roster, but I can see Hook as NXT champion. I really could. I can see Hook thriving as the face of NXT. And maybe eventually they can build him up to somebody that I can see on the main roster. But right now, I could really see Hook as the face of NXT down the line. Anyways, Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa. I think this was the best match either of these women have had in AEW. Really, 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 really good match. Nigel McGuinness joins commentary. They were like, "Hey, Nigel, thanks for coming out here. You weren't scheduled to come out till later, but unfortunately, Taz had to go to the back of the hook." He says, "It's all good. It's shoe time." Thunder Rosa then comes out. She had a mask on until the bell rang. She took it off and revealed no face paint. That's the whole thing. Is Toni Storm said, "Stop hiding behind the paint," and then she did a thing on Toni where she painted her face with lipstick and whatnot. So I thought this actually really played into the match and the story that they were building. Storm wasted no time on the early assault, but Rosa quickly responded with some hard chops. Storm responded with a stiff kick to the ribs and a little bit of a beel, but Rosa hit a head scissors that sent Storm to the floor. Rosa then went to the top and hit a tornado that took out Storm and Luther before May got in her face, but quickly was like, "Nope, I want anything to do with you. Goodbye." So Storm connected with a backbreaker as Thunder Rosa got back into the ring. Storm then kept Rosa grounded before Rosa exploded with a shotgun dropkick and a crucifix bomb for a near fall. Rosa then brought Storm to the apron and delivered a brutal Death Valley driver as Rosa trash talks Storm and the fans at ringside. Rosa wanted a Fire Thunder driver, but her back gave out. Storm then hit a backstabber out of the corner. There was a spinning corner DDT that led to a fisherman's suplex for a 2. Rosa battled back with a roll up into a double stomp for a 2 of her own before going up to the top, missing a double foot stomp, rolling through, and then she ran into a Storm Sky High. Storm then kept targeting the lower back of Thunder Rosa, turning things into a forearm battle, which changed into a slap battle. Each woman then tried to snap German before Mariah May jumped up on the apron to run some distraction when Deonna Purrazzo would come out and pull May down. She also took out Luther in the process as well. May got up and brawled with Purrazzo to the back as this left Rosa distracted, allowing Storm to hit another release German sweet cheek music in the Storm of Zero, but Storm did not get the pin. Storm did not get the pin. Rosa kicks out. Storm then sank into Texas Cloverleaf, but Rosa made it to the ropes to break the hold. Rosa sidestepped Storm, but hit a backstabber and then a Cobra Clutch. But Storm got out of the move with a rope break. Ref then fixed the apron, allowing Storm to hit a low kick and a Storm Zero to get the victory. There we go. Toni Storm does retain the AEW Women's World Championship. Luther then carries her away as Excalibur questions, "Only person that can beat Toni Storm now, well, is Toni Storm." He's like, "Who can beat Toni Storm now?" The only person that maybe can beat Toni Storm is Toni Storm, saying that she's her own worst enemy. And that match itself did go, pull the time up here. The FTW title match went 16.5. That went 15. Then we had the dream match. Bryan Danielson versus Will Osprey. Match itself in 32 minutes and 40 seconds. And boy, was this awesome. Justin Roberts is on the call here and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we now have an absolute dream match." Brings out Danielson, brings out Will Osprey. The crowd's over here chanting, "Holy shit, AEW, both of these guys fight forever and more" during this match. Each man tried to use their strength early on. Danielson with the ground game and Osprey with speed, but each had it scouted. Each had the other one scouted enough for a stalemate within the first minute or so. There was an insane series of counters, kicks and whatnots, and flips and flops and flies as the crowd starts chanting, "Fight forever." Osprey picked the leg of Danielson. Danielson easily got up and out of it, flipping off Osprey, who answered with some hard chops, which Danielson responded with. So there's a sequence here where they're like, move, flip, flip, flop, look cool. And so I'm going to read a tweet really fast. Someone sends out a tweet that I had to respond to this because this is now an irrelevant take that Triple H is in charge of WWE and not Vince. Let me find it really fast. Probably easier if I just do it like this. This person sends out a tweet that states, I'm sorry for the tribalism on this tweet, but WWE could never deliver this in-ring style. Look at this sequence, bruv. AEW in-ring is different. I then send a rebuttal tweet that states, quote, this has nothing to do with AEW or WWE, but everything to do with the two performers in the ring. If both were in today's WWE under Triple H, yes, they could have this style of match. With Vince no longer around, the quote, could never do this in WWE, end quote, stuff is so short-sighted. So it's like Triple H would allow a match like this, would allow this type of action if he felt like it was going to put on a good match. It's not like Vince that says, well, you have to do this and that, and I don't like this, and you're not doing that. No, not at all. I mean, freaking Luke Gallows on his Talking Shop podcast this week basically said, yeah, we don't have to say sports entertainer anymore. We're WWE wrestlers, according to Triple H. So, yeah. Triple H changing things and changing things for the better. So, to say, oh, you could never do a match like this in WWE, yeah, piss off. Anywho, Don Callis was on commentary here. And we got a F Don Callis chant at one point as Danielson applied a rolling cravat, but Osprey flipped out and hit a snap drop kick. There's a quick head scissors from Osprey that put him in control until Danielson woke up via a chop. Osprey then answered back with a pop-up stun gun and a slingshot crossbody. Callis was upset that Osprey was actually playing to the crowd here. Ooh, I got hiccups. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Back inside the ring, Danielson caught a springboarding Osprey with a kick to the ribs and proceeded to keep him grounded. Osprey battled back with some chops, but Danielson lit up the ribs until doing a corner backflip, only to be met with an Osprey corkscrew to a double down spot. There's a pip cheerio that connected as a quad kick stopped. Quad kicks were stopped by Danielson, who threw more stiff uppercuts until Osprey exploded with a wall walk enziguri, sending Danielson to the floor. Osprey delivered a picture-perfect twisting moonsault as back inside the ring. There was a top rope elbow strike to the back that connected. Osprey then wanted the hidden blade, but Danielson kicked out and avoided it and then hit a tiger suplex for a 2. There's an anvil elbows that poured down. There's a cattle mutilation that was locked on, but Osprey used his size to get to the ropes. Danielson then hit some corner drop kicks. He tried a corner Hurricane Rana and landed smack on his head in the process, which no one seemed to really notice. Crowd didn't really react to it. Osprey then landed on his feet. Osprey then followed this up with a Tiger Driver for a near fall, but took too long. And then Danielson cut him off with a gnarly, I need to say it again, gnarly avalanche tiger suplex that was, say it again, gnarly. Osprey eventually popped up onto his feet and got up on the ropes. Danielson then fired off some kicks until a PK woke up Osprey, who asked for more, so Danielson obliged. Danielson then slapped Osprey in the face, so Osprey leveled Danielson in the face as well with a forearm, crumbling him down. They then fought up to the apron where Osprey wanted a Tiger Driver, but thankfully Danielson escaped, only to eat a thrust kick and an Os cutter on the edge of the ring. Danielson then flops to the floor. Danielson was being checked on by the referee, Bryce Remsburg. Osprey then flew in with a hidden blade off the apron. Osprey opted to take the count out, but Danielson did get back in the ring in time. Osprey was right there to hit a springboard dropkick and a high stack powerbomb, but Danielson kicked out again at 2. Osprey tried another Os cutter, but this time with Danielson trying a lapel lock, but opted for a guillotine. Osprey then tried a counter, but Danielson hit a beautiful La Mystica into a lapel lock. Danielson then wrenched the arm, but again, Osprey got his foot on the ropes with his size. There's some yes kicks into a buzzsaw kick as Osprey intercepted a buzzsaw kick, but Danielson turned a powerbomb into a snap hurricane rana pin for a 2. Both started to trade more pin attempts. Osprey then flipped out, missed a hidden blade, and Danielson flew in with the Busaku knee for a close 2. Crowd lost their mind here. Danielson then said, "It's time to kick his head in." His boots rained down to yes, no dueling chants. Osprey then fought out of the label lock with some forearms, but Danielson got the triangle choke, which Osprey connected with a Styles clash. This was so clean and smooth. Both then started trading headbutts, punches, knees. Before long, Danielson hit a combo into a regal plex, which Osprey no-sold into a hidden blade. Osprey tried to go for the Oz cutter, but Danielson stopped an Oz cutter in midair with the Busaku knee. And I'm like, oh, Lord. Both men then rose to their feet in separate corners. Osprey said, "Screw this," and he pulls off the elbow pad. Both men then explode out of the corner with Osprey connecting first with a flying forearm and a Tiger Driver 93. The ref immediately calls for the doctor to check on Danielson, but Osprey didn't see or hear it and hits the hidden blade. And this is when you go, wait, is Danielson hurt? But then Osprey goes for the pin. The ref counts and you go, nope, he's fine. 1, 2, 3. Will Osprey picks up the victory. So when the referee goes for the pin and counts, you know Danielson's fine. Because if he was really hurt, he would have jumped on, Danielson and was like, "You're not going for the pin, back off," or something like that. He wouldn't have just finished the match 99% of the time. So doctors jump in. They're checking on Danielson. Will then gets down. Is like, "Are you okay? What's going on? Is he fine?" He's checking on Danielson. And yeah, they cut away. They do the little video before the ladder match. They come back, and Excalibur tells us that before we get to this next match, we want to let you know that Danielson was able to sit up and walk away with assistance from the doctor. I think what this could be leading to is Danielson taking some time off, maybe being gone for a month or 2, maybe even being gone all the way till Double or Nothing, if not farther, which would be about a month, and then coming back a little bit. So I think this is just leading to, A, Danielson maybe taking some time off, and B, the whole, Danielson's body giving out on him. It's his last year. So we'll see how they play it up, but don't try to swallow and talk at the same time. We'll see how they play it up, but Danielson's not hurt, so that's a good thing. Then we move in to the AEW World Tag Team Championship ladder match, the Young Bucks versus FTR. This right here is what you would call the definition of a car crash match. Oh boy, did I think I thought all these guys were going to come out of this match injured as hell. Frickin' Matt took a bad table bump. I think it was Dax took a bad table bump. So, yeah. Like, these guys were... And then there was another one where Dax... So, I'll get to it when we get to it. Both teams dodged each other's finishers early on, and FTR quickly went for some ladders, only to get cut off early. Harwood ate a ladder shot. Wheeler came in and baseball slid the ladder into both Bucks. A scramble back in the ring with a ladder was... They scrambled back in the ring and set up a ladder as FTR were sent into the ladder with some super kicks and a super kick party. Matthew and Nicholas then brought more ladders in as Wheeler set up multiple tables around ringside before Harwood ate a drop toe hold into a ladder while holding the ladder into the steps. while Nicholas hit a somersault dive onto it. The Bucks then climbed a tall ladder in the ring as Harwood made the save. He's bleeding like crazy here. The Bucks then lit up Harwood with a chair shot as he's bleeding. He's got a gusher, as they tell us. It was sandwiched between the ladder. So basically, they sandwiched him between the ladder, and then Nick would, boom, hit it with the chair. Boom, hit it with the chair. Boom, hit it with the chair. The Bucks then launched, Wheeler into a ladder in the corner before setting up ladders at ringside. There was one that they set up as a ladder bridge. So right in front of the timekeeper's area, up against the ring. So they set up the ladder bridge, right? And I literally look at my roommate and go, oh, that's going to fall down. That barely fits there. It's almost too short. And what happens later? It was too short and it fell down when they did the pile driver. So, anyways. They set up the ladder bridge, which Wheeler delivered a moonsault off of. Wheeler tried a pile driver on the bridge, but Nicholas pulled out the leg and crotched him. While trapped in the ladder, the Bucks hit an EVP trigger on Wheeler before targeting Harwood back inside the ring. The Bucks wanted a suplex to the floor through a table, but Wheeler, who recovered instantly, pretty quickly, cleaned house and stopped everything. The match was kind of reset here as both teams tried climbing the ladders, but Matthew ended up being dropped by a Steiner Bulldog off the top rope as Harwood locked in a sharpshooter. Wheeler trapped Matthew under the ladder as Nicholas made the save, but ate a slingshot powerbomb. Matthew then went to the apron while Wheeler charged full steam and speared him through the ropes onto a table, but this was bad. So Matthew flies off the ropes off the apron backwards. His ass hits the table just hard enough to break it. He falls backwards. His head goes like this up against the barricade. The doctor, you see, immediately get up and run to Matthew. Where at the same time, Harwood gets thrown off the apron. He flips. You're supposed to, I guess you'd say, take a flip dive through the table, land back first onto the table, and he almost overshoots it. Table kind of cracks, falls over, and I go, that ain't looking good. But they're all okay because they all got back in the ring. Somehow they all recovered, with Matthew standing tall after taking the worst of it. Harwood blocked a super kick, took off the shoe of Matthew, and they go, that's pretty smart. He takes the shoe off of Matthew so the super kick isn't as impactful. And I'm like, really? It's not? Okay, cool. I wouldn't have thought of that, but okay. They hit the shatter machine off of a ladder at one point. Nicholas then returns with a chair and got a few more shots in before taking too long to climb the ladder, resulting in FTR connecting with a powerplex off separate ladders. Both teams then fought on the floor where Nicholas had another table set up. He went and hit a 450 splash through Wheeler off the top rope through the ladder or through the table, where at the same time Harwood delivered a pile driver on the ladder bridge on Matthew, but the ladder bridge was too short. It was just long enough to be there, but once they put any pressure on, like jostling it around, it fell down and they tumbled. I'm like, God, these guys are trying to kill themselves. Back in the ring, Nicholas climbs the ladder, but Wheeler breaks it up, sends Nicholas to the outside and tries to dive, but crashes right through the table. They said on commentary, what better way to stop a flyer than to just move out of the way? Crowd starts chanting, please be careful. Harwood and Nicholas then fought up at the top of the ladder. Harwood then smacks him with one of the belts. Nicholas falls down. And then this stupid fucker is literally up there and he reaches for the belt and he takes a step down. Then he takes a second step down. And I go, well, someone's about to come out. And a fan jumps into the ring wearing a Sting mask, and security is literally, so the fan jumps in over by commentary. Security then jumps in on the other side and immediately grabs him. Like, they just grab him. And I'm like, well, That was dumb because they did that way too quickly. And so they pinned the guy up into the corner. Now, if this was a real fan jumping into the ring, they would have immediately tried to get the guy out of the ring, but they didn't. Instead, they take the fan, who we all know who it is, wearing a Sting mask, and they pin him up into the corner to where they eventually grab his hoodie, pull the hoodie back, the mask comes off, and it's Jack Perry, the scapegoat. Pushes over the ladder. Harwood goes falling. Nicholas climbs, grabs the belt. Bada bing, bada boom. Young Bucks are the first ever 3-time AEW Tag Team Champions. Excalibur said, "This is trespassing, and that's a criminal offense." As I guess you could say, security escorted Perry out of the building. So this was very predictable. This is exactly the way we thought this match was going to end, with Jack Perry coming out and helping the Young Bucks. Now, I didn't expect them to do the whole fan jumping the rail thing, but it was very predictable that Jack Perry was coming out to help the Young Bucks and assist them in winning. So this then leads us to our main event. The AEW World Championship on the line. Swerve Strickland, who entered dressed as Black Panther, against the champion Samoa Joe. Jim Ross once again on commentary. Again, I thought JR was great on commentary tonight. So, Swerve comes out as Black Panther. Prince Nana then comes out with some like jacket or robe or whatever. And they tell us that the jacket was from an original member of the embassy, Jimmy Rave. So this was a tribute to Jimmy Rave. And I said, very cool. Jimmy Rave, who we know has passed away. Anywho, Joe comes out, and Joe just exudes badass world champion vibes. Like how Vince never saw him as world champion. I'll never understand how Vince never saw Joe as the guy that should hold the WWE or even Universal Championship. I'll never understand. Joe is one of the best of his era, one of the best of the last 15 to 20 years. Joe started at the same time as John Cena. They started training in UPW down there in LA together at the same time. Cena then went to OVW, which then led him to the main roster of WWE. Joe went to Ring of Honor, TNA, and so forth. Well, actually, Ring of Honor, then Japan, then TNA, and then back to Ring of Honor, and yeah, the whole thing. Then eventually WWE with NXT, and regardless, Joe finally getting his flowers here. Which you could say he's a former ROH World Champion or TNA World Champion. He's gotten them flowers before, but we're not at a company that's this close to WWE. So regardless, the match starts off and Joe gets the early advantage with strikes. He tried his usual sidestep walk off when someone tries to crossbody him or whatever from the top rope, but Swerve knew it was coming, landed on his feet. Joe then turns around and was like, "Oh, we're really doing this. Okay." Well, also forgot to mention the ladder match went 21 and a half minutes. This match went 18. So Joe kept on the attack. He had Swerve on the outside. He then goes around over by the ramp and he pulls up the protective padding, basically just exposing the concrete. So they're fighting and whatnot, and they eventually get back over to that area. Joe tries to go for a muscle buster, but Swerve gets out of it. Swerve then runs at Joe, and Joe hits a spinning power slam on the concrete. Joe then kept up on the attack inside the ring. He swept out the legs of Strickland, causing him to face plant. Joe then grounded Strickland, who was trying to battle back, only to be mowed down again by the power of Joe. They battled to the outside where Joe hit a home run shot again. But then as he went for another one, he was like doing these like clotheslines and punches and whatnot. And he goes for a left. Swerve ducks and he boom, left elbow right into the post. They tell us that Joe has been dealing with elbow issues, and so this ain't good. So they're in the ring. Strickland connects with a bounce-back German suplex for a near fall. Joe then tried a desperation coquina clutch, but Strickland kicked free. With Joe set up in the corner, Strickland hit a diving arm breaker before slapping on a short arm scissors transition into a cross arm breaker. Joe powered out into a buckle bomb and quickly followed this up with a muscle buster for a close 2. Joe couldn't believe he kicked out. Joe then grabbed the AEW World Championship, and Strickland met him in the ring. Hit him with the house call and a 450. Joe then was hung up in the ropes. Swerve hit the swerve stomp, and Joe kicked out at 2. Joe desperately raked the eyes and grabbed the title again, but this time Prince Nana distracted the referee, which allowed Strickland to dodge the belt shot, and Joe sank in another coquina clutch. Strickland then wrenched at the bad arm of Samoa Joe to break free, as Nana yelled at him, break it now! Strickland then delivered another house call, but Joe once more kicked out. Strickland then took too long to follow up, and this time Joe cut him off. Strickland almost locked in. Strickland almost looked for an avalanche swerve stomp, but he seemed to overshoot it. This was very weird. So, like, they're both fighting on the top rope. Swerve's standing on the top rope. Joe's on the middle rope. They're, like, looking face to face. And so Swerve, like, jumps up. Looks like he's going to hit the Meteora or the Swerve Stomp or whatever. But he jumps over Joe, lands on his feet on the floor, then runs back over to Joe in the corner and hits him with the power bomb. And I go, well, that was weird. I don't know what the hell that was. So then he gets to the top rope, hits the avalanche swerve stomp, and pins Joe to pick up the victory. Hand Swerve the belt. He celebrates at ringside. Nana comes and celebrates with him. Joe disappears very quickly. And Excalibur tells us we are now in the Swerve era. Or no, the era of Strickland. And my first thing is, oh boy, this is getting overused. Just how WWE overused story. Finish your story. This is my story. Now, both companies, era of this, era of that, era of me, era of you. We'll see. If Swerve holds this title for more than 6 months, then you can maybe say era of Swerve. That was the era of Strickland. But if he drops this title by All In or before, ain't no era of nothing. Regardless, really fun, really good pay-per-view show. I enjoyed all of it for the most part. And now I know what you guys thought. What did you think of tonight's AEW Dynasty? I liked it. Was all right. I didn't like it. Let me know what you thought of the pay-per-view. You're watching on Twitch. The poll is now live. As we go and refresh the other polls as well. Go here. As far as the Threads poll does go, 100% that voted on Threads like the show. Always good to see. As far as the Twitter X poll does go, 81% liked the show, 10% thought it was just all right, and 7% did not like it. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 68% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 15% didn't like it. Some of the comments here says, what a great show. This is one of the best pay-per-view crowds they ever pulled off for a show. Incredible matches. Best AEW pay-per-view in years. Happy for Swerve. This person says... Swerve is the 10th AEW champion, 10th and first African-American. A couple of them saying, I hope Danielson's all right. Danielson's perfectly fine. We might be a little banged up after the Avalanche Tiger Driver, but other than that, or Tiger Suplex. And then some of the normal trolls that never like to say anything good about AEW. And then somebody else has said it was okay. Looking at the YouTube live poll, 83% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. As far as the Twitch poll does go, everybody that voted liked the show. So, as far as this next upcoming week does go, Monday, everything as normal. We're going to do a Raw review. We'll get Luke's thoughts on being there live tonight before we talk Raw tomorrow, so we'll do that as well. Then Wednesday for Dynamite, I'll watch Dynamite. I don't know if I'll be able to do a review. Play that by ear. Because Tuesday I have to fly to Texas for work. I'll be gone until Saturday. So Friday, most likely I will not be able to live react or even do a review for SmackDown or night one of the draft. And then, like I said, I'll be back Saturday night. My flight gets back in at like 10 o'clock at night. And I leave Tuesday afternoon from here. So we'll play it by ear, what we do for the Dynamite podcast and the SmackDown one. Maybe I'll do it on, what's what I'm looking for? Sunday. We'll just have to see how it all does go. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. See you back here live tomorrow after Monday.